your collector of district fraternity inhabited by tribal. Okay, this is case is kind of a classical kind of a situation that if you be actually going through. See, okay, this situation where development and traditional comes conflict of each other. Okay, let's read this properly. You are the collector of district permanently inhabited by tribals. Okay, clear? A manufacturing unit is being set up in your jurisdiction to produce an Ayurvedic medicine. Tribal, your DM, tribal area, and Ayurvedic medicine unit, production unit, okay, is being set up there. Okay. Now, this medicine is based on some naturally available herbs in the locality and uses traditional knowledge of the tribe and is expected to be low-cost indigenous medicine to treat a widely prevalent illness across the country. मान के चलो कि कोरोना टाइप्स, कोरोना तो चलो बहुत अर्जेंट होता है, but anything that maybe high blood pressure or this diabetes, which is very prevalent in India, but not urgent. Just मान के चलो, something of that sort. And this particular medicine herb and some formula would be of great help to them. Now, the company that is setting up the unit has received all the relevant clearances from the government. Okay, so legally कोई issue नहीं है, administratively legally. It has also promised to educate the tribal children and appropriately employ the tribal youth after imparting the requisite skills. ये भी बढ़िया है. Okay, क्योंकि what they are doing is they are also kind of promising that we will educate the child there, because you need to understand one thing: the industry is coming from somewhere, means they have their own established industrial other units somewhere else, so they know other business aspects of it. So what they are promising is we will educate the tribal youth there and also appropriately employ the tribal youth after imparting requisite skills. ये वो promise कर रहे हैं, ठीक है? Now, it has also decided to set up a dispensary to look after the health issues of the locals. ये भी है कि not just this medicine, but any other medicine that is normal health dispensary would be set up for the locals there. There are also promises that the company would share the requisite percentage of profit earned by using tribal knowledge. Okay, so it seems like a very, very altruistic kind of company there. Some Tata kind of business person is trying to handle this. Good thing, good. यहाँ तक सब गुड़ी चल रहा है. There is no issue as such. Okay. However, some tribals are opposing the project. यहाँ से problem शुरू हो गया. Some tribals are opposing the project. Some tribals are opposing the project. They fear for their traditional livelihood and also the possibility of displacement. ये हो सकता है, normal fear है वो. Here, point is they fear. They also urge that an influx of immigrants or migrants with the company's establishment will dilute their culture. Some of them have actively started staging protests outside your office every day. Your seniors have ordered you to persuade the locals and facilitate the establishment of unit as decided by the government. So, इसमें क्या है? Now there are a lot of darkness for you, in the sense you don't know many things as to you are actually clueless about so many things, because till here everything is very positive, right? And no logical conclusion would be from your side that no person there, no local should be actually having any problem whatsoever there. So why is this happening? However, some tribals are opposing this project. They fear for their traditional livelihood and also the possibility of displacement. ये fear है, and obviously the fear is not completely fake or completely manipulated or created. We have seen many other projects like that, so it is very normal or natural for the tribals to assume that there used to be a big problem if they do, like they go ahead with it. So they also they also argue that an influx of immigrants, so उनके issues क्या क्या है देखना, traditional livelihood may go, displacement हो सकता है, influx of migrants हो सकता है, तो जो भी issues create होंगे, overall culture dilute हो सकता है. ओके, ये 4 issues उन्होंने clearly identify किए. हमें ये भी थोड़ा सा देखना है कि वो exactly क्या क्या identify कर रहे हैं. तो एक है traditional livelihood, second है possibility of displacement, third है influx of migrant, okay, and overall dilute the culture. So there are 4 issues. Now all are connected only, but we need to understand while writing answer, it is always easy, or it's always better to bifurcate things and accordingly do it. ठीक? Some of them have actively started staging protest outside your office every day. Every day, छोटा ही protest हो रहा होगा, लेकिन every day. And your seniors have ordered you to persuade the locals. Persuade. अभी समझ में आया? Why persuasion is important? And by the way, persuasion is tool for attitude change. So here what we are going to see, what we are trying to achieve as an administrator, because you are DM, is that their attitude towards this new unit should be made positive and welcoming, based on logic and based on mutual benefits, mutual interests, not based on some other force, or obviously not based on any false knowledge, false promise. Now, question says, analyze the situation in front of you. Simple, straightforward. Whatever we did, like this 1, 2, 3, 4. First thing is very positive. Everything is positive. Still there are this. This is what the situation. This is exactly what would be part of this analysis of the question. Okay. You need to also mention why there is protest. What might be the reasoning behind it? Because you have to analyze. Suggest what course of action you would like to take, giving reasons. So obviously, once you analyze the situation, you have to give course of action towards the solution, obviously. Now here the situation, yes, as I mentioned, situation is a classic case of development versus human rights. It's a very good statement, like if you start with this. Okay, this situation, here you have to explain situation, what exactly has happened, what may be the issue, what are the fears and all. This can be slightly more than what it is written also, that's okay. Then analysis of the situation. In analysis of the, you see here it is very broadly, very broad, 3, 4, 5 lines only. Here analysis it is always good if you go point wise possibly. Like what are your observations in this? Why it is happening? What can be the solutions? What are the ethical values or otherwise? Here it is more like an administrative case study. Okay, because in case study, as you know, there are 2 types basically. One is ethical case study, where your stand is more important and justification. Okay, and another is administrative case study. Now administrative means here you are logical thinking, managing things at the same time, multifaceted approach and all is very much required in administrative case. So this is administrative kind of case study, where rather than justification, your course of action is more important. How detailed you can plan, how detailed you can take into consideration all other aspects. So your course of action. A course of action will be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. So in course of action, you can also draw algorithm. Like if there is a situation where you have to take a decision on the basis of information which you yet to have. So if this, then do not this. Like that, you can have course of action. The course of action is always very easily representable in algorithm format, and then you can obviously have to explain. And course of action is your answer basically. Here there is no other ethical issue typically, जैसे बाकी जगह पे होता है कि what choice and all that, वो नहीं है. Course of action, meeting with tribals opposing the project, with officials and units members, NGOs, उनसे बात कर लो, explain them if there is other example of nearby place where this unit has been successful, the same company implementing other places being successful. So those cases there. Also the youth where they are more optimistic about the positive change, because here now though the situation is creating or bringing out the gap, bringing out the fight between human rights and development, or human rights and new advancement in technology, but it is also between the old and the new, like traditional knowledge and traditional livelihood versus the new livelihood or technologically advanced livelihood, other facilities. So obviously, as an administrator, as a progressive country, as a developing country, as a aspirational country, we have to go for the new. We have to go for the more and more technology, more and more employment generation and economic activities. Only thing we have to consider for that is we should not degrade the environment beyond its repairability. So that's the only concern when it comes to new technology. Otherwise, new technology is always preferred by everyone. Only thing is we have to explain that thing in proper way. Okay, social audits, so that trust. यहाँ पे क्या ना main issue क्या है? यहाँ पे trust है. Why this thing happening is, like for example, there might be basically two reasons why protest is happening. One is genuine trust deficit, right? Genuine trust issue. And so what is second? Okay, ill motivation or vested interest basically of some groups. Like for example, somebody would be already doing some traditional activity and he or she would be kind of a contractor or somebody who is involved, who is actually running his show on the basis of the labors, are earning his hefty livelihood out of it. So he will be protesting and there will be genuine trust issues. Trust issues can be solved. This has to be treated with little force, the sense tactfulness and force if required, like that it has to be. Okay.